female entrepreneurs turned besties share on life, business, and the journey through the mess. Join their community with every new episode for connection, education, a few laughs, and the hype energy like a bathroom full of drunk girls at a bar. It's okay.
We're your friends now!
Hey.
Oh my gosh, wait, you look.
Whoa. And Katie is also wearing leopard print.
This is the second time we've gotten on a Zoom and matched.
I know, I love it.
Look amazing.
But what is happening?
The fuck?
I was making a TikTok being like a 90s cigarette mom.
Well, you look great. Your hair looks amazing. And you should wear leopard. Look what I just got in the mail. I'm opening them because it was really y'all's idea and I just bought it. And so I'm going to go ahead and open it and look at it. But I need your addresses so I can get it in the mail to you. But there are circle necklaces.
Yeah.
Oh, yay!
They're so cute.
Yeah. Aw. It says 3 parts of a circle to make a whole. We're always connected, kindred souls.
Aww.
That's so cute.
That is cute. Guys, it says it's gold plated. That's cool. All right.
Those are really cute. Thanks, Biz.
Yeah, no, thanks for finding those, whoever found them.
I think it was
Is that you, Katie?
Yeah.
I think it was Katie.
Thanks.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cute. That also inspired the thought of if I ever started a second podcast that only had 2 people, it would be 2 peas on a pod instead of 2 peas in a pod. And then I realized maybe I shouldn't be in charge of naming things.
That's not true, though. I think you're great at naming things. Like every time I need something to be named, I always come to a chat that I know you're in, and I'm like, I'm talking to everybody, but mostly Katie. Can you help me name it?
I will say, long and short of it, it's one of my favorites. Honorable mention out to creating an operations coaching program called Opsy Daisy.
Have you not done that yet?
No.
You so need to. Like, you need to buy that domain. Like,
I have
seriously.
a Trello board for it, but I haven't done it.
Oh my God.
How many Trello boards do you have?
I don't want to count.
I don't even know. Do you even know?
I was at 27 a month ago. I know because I
Go
deleted a
away?
bunch. No, I deleted a bunch.
Okay.
They weren't serving me.
I got good news today.
Okay, what's that?
Second good news in my optimistic way of looking at things. I saw this guy, went to go walk the dog with Jonathan today, and saw this guy crawling out a hole from the bottom of a house. And I was like, yo, man, you want to come crawl under my house and give me a second opinion? And so,
Yeah, I thought you meant like a crazy person.
no, like a foundation specialist. This is a thing in New Orleans. Happens all the time. So, you know,
Okay.
I know. No, sorry, I guess that does sound crazy. Yeah. But anyway, long story short, we don't need to have the work done.
Yay!
I mean, it's worth it if it's for the long-term health of your home.
Is it? Is that your realtor answer?
And that's my answer that I would give myself when I have to destroy something in my old home.
And found it, and insulation in the walls is worth it, because oh my God, it's like 100 years and nobody's done it. It really weighs on me.
I guess I don't know, because we have insulation, so I don't know, because we don't have plaster walls. Maybe we once did.
Yeah.
Our
Anyway,
walls are
I
super
love these
fucked
old
up.
homes, though. I just want to be such a good steward of it. What are we talking about today? Who's talking?
That's a great question. It's my week to lead, and I am so uninspired that I find because all I've been talking about and thinking about the past couple weeks are new opportunities, Taylor Swift, and crochet, and like also my child. And I finally got to the point where I was like, should we just do like Christmas hot takes or this or that, or I should have been prepared and had like funny holiday stories. So I don't really know where we're gonna go with it. we'll figure out the destination on the journey.
I'm
Um,
We'll
fine.
figure out the journey on the journey.
And then I also wanted to make sure we didn't like skirt over New Year's like we skirted over
Every
Thanksgiving
other
and shit.
holiday.
Yeah. Hashtag this is our real life. We don't.
For people who love holidays so much, we sure are. Whoops, we should have mentioned that.
I know. It's like, no, I love you so much because I didn't text you Merry Christmas on the 25th. Like,
I didn't include you in my mass text because I wanted to send you a personal one because you're that important to me. And then I never sent the personal one.
That is
I
it to
swear
a
to God, no,
T.
it's been my MO for years. Like, and
I
now
know.
it's the thing. Michael Heisenbuttle calls me every year, like the day after, and he's like, I just want to tell you, thank you again for not texting me. And I'm like, you're welcome, bro. I'm like the same way. Like,
Jesse Coleman actually, his command text thing got messed up once, and it sent out a holiday text like a couple days early to his entire database. And he said he got such good engagement from it that now he always texts on like either a little bit before or a little bit after. And it's like, so I wanted to do an episode previously, and maybe we'll just roll with this for like 20 minutes, called It's Pruning Season, Bitch. I think that there's something really beautiful about when you get clear on your mission and you are growing so much that like quote unquote pruning becomes a necessity. And sometimes it's not quite that drastic, right? Like it doesn't have to be cutting somebody out or cutting them off or whatever, but just understanding that like the thing that you thought was a lifeboat before or the thing that was most important can't be anymore. And it also is not necessarily something negative about that thing or person or whatever. It just doesn't serve you at the same purpose. And so it's like cutting out your time or emotion or energy towards that. I enjoy this sometimes. For Ashleigh witnessed me doing this kind of recently with somebody who I was keeping around as kind of a friend, like an acquaintance friend or something before. And I finally was like, you know what? What's the point of me putting all this energy and then nervous energy of like, oh my gosh, are they going to respond? How are they going to respond? How is this going to go? Blah, 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 whatever. And what's the benefit? Like, we're not working on anything together. We don't hang out together. We don't have deep talks anymore. Like, we've gotten away from that point. And when I look realistically at the life they're living and the life I'm living, do I want to get to that point with them again? And the answer was no. And so instead of having nerves about it, I just blocked the person and was like, okay, I guess that chapter's over. And I think it's like sometimes it's a straight cutoff and sometimes it's a like intentionally channeling energy other places. And then sometimes I think it is like having to feel okay with people opting out of you for their own growth. And again, it doesn't mean anything bad about you. It just means like your goals are different at this time and they need and should channel their energy where it's serving them.
wish you could
Yeah.
have honest conversations with people about that.
I do.
Do you? Okay, well, that's why you're my friend. But this whole new thing, you know what? I'm like embracing that too. Maybe that's part of my pruning stuff because it's a new thing for me where I just am like yelling at people, clear is kind. And I need you to be very clear with me right now. Like, you are not going to hurt my feelings. Like, I need to know exactly what you're thinking.
Yeah.
But then like my therapist tells me I can't talk to people that way because people don't respond well. And so, yeah, and that's where the neuroscientist comes in. The neuroscience stuff. She's not a neuroscientist. Got to stop calling her that. But I got to give y'all those things. So you can look into that. But y'all, this shit is fascinating. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Yes, let's prune. Sorry, Katie. That was a weird squirrel, but I just yeah, no, but I think that's yeah, 100% where I'm at. Ashleigh, do you agree? Do you have that too?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've been at a place where sometimes I wonder, I like almost like a yo-yo where I go like, oh, I prune too much, go, go, go,
Yeah.
go. And then I'm like,
Mhm.
woo, that was too much. Prune, 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 prune.
Yeah.
And so I need to get a little bit better at like balancing it, but I do think that it gets to a point where it's unfair to the people you have relationships with when you
Mhm.
foster too many and you spread yourself too thin. Especially when you're doing it because you're like, well, I don't like, not for a real reason. It's just like I feel like the people pleasing tendency, or
Mhm.
whatever, like, superficial reason that you're maintaining these relationships and can't let them go. And it's just, it spreads you too thin.
Or like they've always been. It's like, well, this is always like we've always been friends, or this has always been this way. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
do you always want to be the person in the same place you've always been?
Right.
Yeah, I don't. And Biz, like to your point of wanting to be able to tell people that, like, I had a tough conversation a couple weeks ago with somebody who uh handled something really wrong, and that kind of was the conversation of like, I called him and said, hey, like, let's find a solution or let's don't. But I need to tell you, like, the way that you did this really impacted the way that I could trust you, the amount that I could trust you. And quite frankly, I don't have time to have people in my life that I can't trust, and that I can't
Yeah.
trust your intentions or what you're going to do with information that I share or how you're going to perceive things. And the way that you handled it made me realize that you don't understand me, and whether that's me not communicating well to you, I can work on that. But if it's you choosing to like not take time to understand me, that means you don't value me as a person because you don't understand like anything about how I work. And so I just think that like it's probably time for us to sever this relationship. And I was like, I don't understand the benefit of staying connected to somebody who I have to like tiptoe around so much like this only to tie up my energy and not trusting you because of your actions. And you'd be better served talking to people who you understand, which is clearly not me. So for that reason, I am out.
Yeah. Thanks for that. I'm glad that we record this. I need that release so I can listen to it over and over again.
Having those conversations, we talk a lot. I feel like our generation talks about this a lot of like having to parent yourself,
Mm-mm.
especially while you're parenting, right? And so pruning or whatever can be a form of parenting yourself, of like exactly that. Like if you had a kid going through what you're going through and somebody treated them the way that this person is treating you, like would you keep them around? Or it doesn't even have to be somebody treating you poorly. It's just like, is this the best? Is this the best? Or do you need to let go to make room for better? And I see it in a lot of things, especially in our industries that we're in, of like people hold on to people or things because it helps their numbers look better or their volume look better or whatever, when in reality, if they cut out some of the dead weight, they would grow a lot bigger and a lot faster, but they're so scared because they're proud of the specific number. And Biz, like, I think that you're becoming really good at this with your business of identifying what's holding you back from getting bigger and better, and like letting it go and releasing it and being okay with that, and I think it comes a lot from like that you are capable and that you're strong, and so it takes a little bit of the fear away of like, well, what's the worst that could happen? I'm on
Yeah,
my
I
own,
swear to
that's
God,
fine.
I'm so glad we have this podcast so I can like piece it together for myself and for Liv later, because like I don't know where, like if you asked me like right now, like Biz, where'd your newfound confidence come from? Like I literally don't know that I could like pinpoint the one thing. But like it basically is like like I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it is, but it's just this thing.
I
Like I'm
know
not
what it
scared
is.
anymore. But it was debilitating. Like it was debilitating for years. Yeah.
But Biz, I know what it is. It's that you've done all the little reps of proving to yourself that you are somebody you can trust and believe in, and you've built that trust over time so that all of a sudden it's all this confidence.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I like the way that you just said trust in yourself. That's I think that yeah. Mm, yeah. Yeah. I think my biggest hang up was the permission piece. Was for
Yeah.
me personally was like realizing like I didn't need to ask for permission. um,
Mhm.
from anyone. And and then also I recently just, in my, like, one of my codependent Facebook groups, they talked about their parent dying and like it being a trauma bond that was broken.
Mhm.
And, or a codependent bond, like a trauma bond kind of thing. And
Mhm.
and that was interesting because I didn't have that language previously. But yeah, I just gotta say, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's there though. Fuck it. Hi, I'm Biz. Nice to meet you.
Well, it's funny that Katie, the way you kept mentioning like you can grow bigger and better is that my brain instantly went to the gym. So there's because you could grow bigger muscles.
Yeah, yeah.
um because there's this thing known as ego lifting. So it's when you put more weight on because of your ego and like you want to have done that weight, but then
Mm,
your reps are smaller, they're not as good quality, they're not as good form, and it's
Yeah.
just the sacrifice you make in order to bear the weight.
Mm.
And
huh.
it's just, I was like, damn, you know what? That's like a really good metaphor for a lot of the things
Wow.
in life.
Like
And it
new
might,
relationships too.
some of
Yeah.
those relationships might be ego relationships. Like, look at how many friends I have, or this friend is so successful and they
I
choose to associate with me. And
Huh.
I just am like really grateful for my friend's standards that I had to rise up to. I mean, like, I think that's a lot of it too. Um, but then it's like also like that's the pruning piece of it, right? Like to give myself permission to have similar boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
And honestly,
uh,
if you set healthy boundaries and you lose people in your life because of that, is that somebody you really wanted there anyway?
no.
Like
Well,
if
yeah,
people are that mad about healthy boundaries, like why do you want to be associated with them?
yeah.
yeah, but it's weird how hard that is and how
It
common it
is.
is for us to struggle with it. It's like, I don't want to answer my phone past 8 o'clock, but this person's really mad at me. So now I'm going to break my boundary. That's a totally
Right.
reasonable boundary.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I
It's
don't want them
crazy.
to be mad at me. So what if they're mad at you?
My phone hung up on two people because four people were calling me at once today.
Miss Popular.
But I'm just sitting here thinking about this, and I'm like, this is insane. Like
That's
that
funny that your phone just was like, nope, giving up.
and then I had to
Your
call
phone
everyone
called a
back.
boundary.
But yeah, boundaries, I don't have them.
I also find it interesting because last year, right before the holidays, we talked about boundaries also and giving people permission to uphold their boundaries
Oh
because
yeah.
so many people struggle with it around family. And so much of the holiday stuff is centered around family, and people feel pressured to abandon their boundaries, like and people pleasing measures, or and sometimes I think sometimes there are soft boundaries that it's okay for us to give up in certain circumstances, as long as it's okay for you. Like, Ashley, answering your phone after 8 o'clock, let's say that you and some girlfriends really wanted to catch up and the only time available was like 8:30 one night and it was going to be really good for you and you didn't have any other family plans that night and you made that, like, that's fine. That's not
Yeah.
like that's not cross, it's breaking your quote unquote rule, but it's not detrimental to your mental health. It's not going to like it's not going to damage anything. It's probably good for you. But I think that so many people feel pressure to just a lot of us, and I think we talked about this previously when we did the letters to our previous selves of like it's almost like we are conditioned to go back into a familiar state of being, even if it's not the best one for us. And so when people go to family gatherings, it's easy for them to slip into like the role of daughter or the role of sister or whatever the role is, and then just like take on whatever that identity was. And usually it's not the healthiest for us because a lot of us have grown and changed some perspectives and, created new boundaries and stuff like that. And um I guess like let's just vocalize that you do have permission to uphold your boundaries and to do what's best for you. And pruning can be a unilateral decision. and you can be the one to make it. You don't have to have anybody else's permission or like okay on the matter. You can do what's best for you, and it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting point, Katie, about the slipping into things. I'm gonna be mindful of that when I'm going through it.
It's
I
really easy. Like, it's
yeah,
really easy to fall back into,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it's almost comfortable to fall back into painful, hurtful patterns because you know them.
It's predictable.
Yeah.
hmm
yeah. Well, I've never been like intentionally mindful since like moving back home in those situations. And so, or really ever. I don't think I've ever been intentionally mindful of that. And so I'm curious to see how I'm showing up with everything.
Well, I see it a lot too. I talked before about how I'm a good fringe friend because I've moved around so much. And so I know people, but then they always have like groups of people that they've known for years. So I observe it a lot with people with their friends also because I'll meet them and we'll talk about like their current, what they're doing, their mindset, their goals, like what's going on in their lives and who they are as a person now. And then we'll go hang out with like friends of theirs from high school or college or whatever. And if you watch How I Met Your Mother, they call it revertigo, where you revert back to a former self. And it like always happens. You just slip, and those people can't see you as anything but the version of you that they knew. And so I think that it happens like a lot around, I say the holidays, especially because there are just so many like family events and stuff. Um, and you get a case of vertigo and you just go back to how you were or who you were or whatever. And you're not letting them see like this beautiful thing that you've blossomed into. You just fall back into what's comfortable, even if it's not comfortable.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that.
Katie said it here, folks. You have permission to not do it. Katie said I could.
Yeah.
I do have templates of permission slips on Canva, and I'm happy to sign them and send them to you if you need.
What? I feel like I needed those for like years.
I also want to say, like, this is not permission to abandon your children. And
Yeah.
Yeah, my children constantly violate my boundaries.
yeah, same.
I'll never forget the first time Liv lied to me.
Oh no.
She cut her hair. She tried to lie to me that she didn't do it. And she was like 4.
As she's an only child.
Yeah, like 3 or 4. I mean, she was little. And yeah, I actually called Kristen. And this was that season. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to get her to tell me the truth. Like, I know she's lying to me. And she goes, "This is what you do." And so I did exactly what she said. I went into Liv and I said, "Liv, Mama knows everything.
Oh boy.
And if you don't tell me the truth now, I'm taking the unicorn." It's the first time I had to threaten her with anything, like to tell me the truth. Now, I don't know if that was correct or not, but I'll never forget it.
Okay. This has been a wildly all over the place episode, and I love
needed
it.
it though.
I needed
It's
this.
very representative of this season, right? Like,
Yeah, it is.
Fuck.
It's all over
Life
the
be
place.
lifing.
Life be lifing, especially during the holiday season. It's extra lifey.
I
La, la,
literally
la,
have given
la.
us so many examples to people. I'm like been telling about our podcast. I'm like, make sure you listen to that psychology episode that Katie put, because like all 3 of us were like legit losing our shit that week. Like
We were.
completely losing our shit. And the fact that like we still got together to like laugh and be silly, like that's what all of this is. Like sometimes it's just kind of like, hey, y'all.
We can't handle real conversation. What's your favorite color? And what does it mean?
Yeah.
We want to end this episode with a little virtual hug for our girl Biz. So Ashleigh and I were talking about how you lately and some of your seasons of growth have been really intentional about expressing gratitude towards people and what they do in your life and who they are in your life and how they show up for you and the impact that people have on them. And sometimes you use phrases often enough that it's apparent that it's a thought in your mind. And you keep talking about what great friends you have. And we want to make sure that you know that you are also a great friend. And I'm already crying. So Ashleigh and I just want to, and we don't have to release this if you don't want, but we want to record it so that you can play it back. Tell you a few of our favorite things about you and your friendship so that you understand that like you're really loved. So I'm gonna go first, even though I'm crying, and Ashleigh, we can just go back and forth if you want for
Okay.
8 minutes. So we talk about it a lot, but your curiosity is really inspirational to me. I am creative in some ways and not in a lot, and curious people have always mystified me, and it's always something that I wish that I was, but I only know how to ask questions that I know about. And you've taught me how to be curious, and I often find myself pausing and looking at something to see if there's something more I could learn from it. And your curiosity ignites like newfound excitement over things in my life. And you literally made it like tangible for me to understand how to get curious.
Thank you, Katie. Y'all are so nice.
My first one is that I am so grateful to have a friend that is willing to walk through the shit right along next to me. Anytime I'm going through it, there's nobody that I felt like has been willing to come from wherever they are, whether they're already in the shit with me or doing well up here in the cliffs, and will come down to literally stand there with me even when I'm stuck. So I'm really
Mhm.
grateful to have you as a friend.
Thank you, Ashleigh.
I agree. Okay, my next
There's no
one.
shitty trench when you're in it.
My next one is that you always make me feel celebrated, and I am a words of affirmation person, and you never ever hesitate to give me words of affirmation. And you are like the biggest cheerleader for the people in your lives. And it's not just a yay, go you. You actually care enough to pause and ask questions so that you fully understand how you can celebrate somebody well, and you care enough to then do it.
Yay, parties.
My next one is I'm really grateful to have you as not just a friend, but a friend that's also a mom. Because we share all the things that go on, but also I don't think you understand that anytime you talk about being grateful that I'm walking ahead of you, that means a lot to me because it makes me feel like I know something when motherhood often makes you feel like you know nothing. And so I'm just really grateful to have you as somebody that is
You're
always
such
willing
a
to.
beautiful example, Ashleigh. You really are. Like, you really are. And like, there's so many people that listen to this that would agree with me that don't even know you. But I mean, oh, you're such a beautiful example. It's like, it's like when I talk about being courageous and like you make me courageous, it's like because of the way that you mother. Um, because you just show up so honestly and vulnerably and like, but yet you like seem to have this natural like, I don't know, like I just like shield of like how to like how much, to do. And it's just really beautiful. And yeah, like you really, it's like when people say like like the miracle mom, like Alice Daly, like she's like, your kid just needs you, you know?
Mhm.
And like that's all you're doing. And it's so good. Like I don't mean to say it like that's
Aw,
all you're doing. Does that make sense?
it
Like you're
does.
doing it
But this
so
is our time to
well.
love on you.
Yeah, stop.
Yeah.
Just accept the love.
You'll take it and you'll like it. My
Sorry, blowing my boogers.
my next one is two-part, and that like you help me continue to always learn because you literally look at every situation to figure out what you can learn from it, like literally everything. But then also you remind me to teach because you are so excited to share knowledge, and the amount of information and knowledge and cool things I have learned from you because you care enough to tell us about the things that matter to you or that interest you. I have learned so much by you just wanting to share with us.
Thanks.
I swear Katie and I did not collaborate on this. They're just similar because you're such an emblem of these things. Mine is that you are a fun presence. Like it's just so amazing and refreshing to see a woman that is embodying and continuing to just have fun and be present and enjoy all the wonderful things in life. And like you live in New Orleans and you express your gratitude for the things that that city has to offer, and just the music and the arts and the culture and the people, and that is so beautiful to see somebody not letting go of that and living it. And I'm just honored to be in such close proximity to somebody like that.
Ooh, that was a good phrase. That's like exactly it. Just that close proximity to that kind of love. Okay, you are obviously a badass.
How long is this list, y'all?
As long as the time allows. You are obviously a badass, but you continue to find ways to pull other people up with you, and you make all of us better as people and business owners, because you're always like fighting the good fight. And I think that I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this because I wrote like a summary. You don't ever let one thing define you. You walk through stages of life embracing what the presence is with like a clear vision on your goals, but you don't ever like take one thing and let that define you, which lets you continue to evolve. And it reminds me, as we talk about pruning season, to not hold on too much to titles or characteristics that maybe aren't meant to last forever. And it's really, really cool to see that you just allow yourself to become whoever you're supposed to be, and then you encourage all of us to do the same. And there's not many people who do that in this world.
Yeah.
Okay, Ashleigh, wrap us up.
Okay. So the fact that anytime I have a conversation with you, even if you don't tell me outright, hey, you should do this, the way you talk to me about things always encourages me to reflect on a deeper level about things. I always walk away from our conversations feeling like I've reached a new depth of the human experience. And that's just, I think, such a unique gift that not many people have at all. And honestly, I feel completely blessed to have somebody like you in my corner. And I really love you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
I love
y'all.
you too.
That's the best Christmas present I've gotten in 10 years. Thank y'all for thinking of that and loving on me together and collaborating and hearing me. That's really special. Like, that's really, really special. I have a overflowing soft saucer for a lot now.
We love you, and you're
Yeah, thanks. I feel very seen and very loved and all of the above. And like, thank you, because like that's beautiful. I've never had anybody do anything like that for me to put anything in front and give me that. And thanks, y'all. I can't wait to, maybe I will put these in the mail.
Vince just wears all three of them.
Yeah. This is me and all my friends at once. Too much. Well, you got a hard stop, Katie.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Okay, when is your Zoom? Can Ashleigh, do you have a little bit more time?
Do you want to hop on a phone call?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. All right, bye.
All right.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye. Love you. I love
Boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop.
you.
Oh, go. I forgot we were recording a podcast episode.
Okay. Bye.